All right, is it going to work? We had all sorts of technical problems just now. It took me 3 tries to get this thing to load. Had to restart the entire screen with a title. I think we might be good now. This took me 10 minutes to get this up and running. No idea why today, guys. But what's our topic going to be? I done forgot. TRT. TRT. Let's talk a little bit about TRT and the fact that it really is about men's health. It's about men's quality of life. And I think it's interesting because I see all these people out here who want to act like they're advocates for men's health, men's rights, all these things, right? They want to act like they care about this stuff. But then when it comes to things that are truly, truly important to this, they turn a blind eye. And all these guys out here, I see fitness guys, oh, TRT is terrible. Oh, it's cheating. It's like, what are you guys talking about? What are you talking about? I don't know any guys who went on TRT who regret it. Okay. 19 out of 20 guys who go on testosterone, even guys who aren't even really that low, when they start getting older, who they go to a longevity clinic just to get topped up a little bit, even guys who don't even fully medically qualify, I don't meet any who regret it. Hey, Pancake, but here's the thing. Why does anybody care? Right? So who cares about the natty thing? Do you care about quality of life, men's health, mental health, quality of life, physical health, ending depression, anxiety? Do those things matter to you? Like the mere fact that you're even discussing the natty factor tells me that you're part of some weird jerk-off bodybuilding cult. Okay, let me state that again. You're part of some weird goofball ass masturbating jerk-off bodybuilding internet cult. If you even bring the topic up, you don't give a single crap about men's health to even utter that statement or care. Like nobody cares about natty. Like really a tiny, tiny, tiny little subsection of 16-year-old boys on the internet care about natty. That's it. Okay, a weird little fan base cares about it. And maybe a handful of older guys who are trying to market something to them. Grown men don't care about that. Adults in general don't care about, did someone's life improve due to a medication or not? Like people don't sit around worrying about that. Do you understand that? It's obviously healthier. When you look at the hard data, I don't just look at the concerns. We have concerns that it may cause this or that problem. But what does the long-term data show? It's absolutely healthier. Furthermore, let's get over and let's assume it didn't improve health. Let's assume it didn't improve health at all. How about quality of life? So we're going to talk about trading quality of life. Given the fact that even declining testosterone reduces your sexual performance as a man, reduces your clarity, your mental clarity, can cause higher rates of depression, anxiety, energy, sleep quality, all these things. So here's the thing I would say, let's spin it in the other direction. Let's assume the research didn't show a lower rate of stroke and heart attack from taking it, which it does, by the way. It actually slightly reduces your overall risk of stroke and heart attack, of having clinically low tests versus going on testosterone. That is very, very highly measured in the statistics. But let's assume it did the opposite. Let's assume it didn't improve these things. Let's assume it didn't. Would the quality of life be worth it? Ooh, there's the big one. You ever use a low dose testosterone, Pancake? You ever just use a modest amount of test? I'm not talking 500 milligrams. I'm talking 150. I don't know what 8 hairs means. 200. Okay. How many guys do you know who use that who are like, dude, I feel really good. My mood is better. My mindset is better. I'm more focused. I'm more driven. See what I'm saying? Okay, so let's go the other direction. Let's assume it didn't. Why are you afraid of balding? All right, dude, you're a clown. I'm about to get rid of you. You know that, right? Dude, I'm about to get rid of you. These are goofball ass answers. Okay. Quality of life. So let's set the health apart. We know it improves health. Let's assume it shaved 3 years off your life. Okay. So let's assume if you were going to live to 80, you're going to die at 77 because of it. But it gives you 20 years of double the quality of life because you're leaner, you have less depression, you have better focus, better mental clarity, better drive. You make more money because you're more focused. You're able to perform better at work. You're able to perform better in the bedroom. You're even more attractive to women because you happen to put off that little bit of hormone and energy they like a little more. So you get all these fringe benefits. And let's say it did cost you 3 years. I think it's worth it. My opinion. That's not a call I can make for you. Right? But then we're dealing with quality of life. We're dealing with quality of life. But conversely, the reality is when all the pros and the cons are stacked up, it improves health. Just like in everything else, you can't say, well, there's some health risks to something, but we're not going to factor in the totality. If you have 10 risk factors and something makes 2 of them worse and makes 6 of them better, is it healthy? So that's like saying we shouldn't eat broccoli because, some people may have some iron absorption issues from eating a lot of broccoli. Okay. See where I'm going with this? There's actually a little bit of arsenic in broccoli. There's some risk factors to eating a lot of broccoli. But do the benefits outweigh the cons? Obviously, yes. And we see it in the epidemiology. People who eat more vegetables are healthier and live longer. Okay. Does that mean there are not risk factors? Hey, Jason, I just did a whole video. Look in my feed. I'm not going to answer that. I did a whole lengthy video answering that in detail. That bulking faster equals more strength, but not more muscle. Because fat makes you stronger. Okay, does that make sense? And I don't want to go into a lengthy, detailed discussion because I literally just did a 9-minute video that I put up in the last 24 hours or so on it, like it's on the channel. Okay, gaining body fat increases your leverages. Doesn't make the muscles contract harder, so it doesn't stimulate more. But gaining fat, like if we could put 25 pounds of fat, just snap a finger with no side effects, like aliens could do it. If they could put 25 pounds of fat on your gut, your squat would probably go up 30 pounds immediately that week, maybe more. Okay. So yes, getting fat will increase your strength. It doesn't mean you'll gain more muscle, and it doesn't mean that strength stimulates more because it makes lifting easier. So the muscles don't have to work quite as hard. It's a leverage advantage. Okay. Like saying, can I lift more on a board press versus touching my chest? Well, of course you can, but it doesn't mean you're going to grow faster. So gaining fat changes leverages. All right. I already answered your questions on the strength in the other chat this morning, Jason. I told you it's never impressive for a man to bench 185 for 5. Just stop. It's not. So you need to lean bulk up and just keep making gains. Do you think the TRT that pushes levels above range is like 1,000 nanograms is still safe? Ruben, we got to weigh out the pros versus cons. Okay. Is driving your car safe? No. It's not safe to get in your car and go to work. People die doing that stuff all the time. You see the nature of the question? Well, you got to weigh out the pros versus the cons. Is that really TRT anymore, though? I mean, sure, you can get a doctor to prescribe it, but is it actually TRT? Hey, Rodney, I'm not gonna feed into that nonsense with him. He needs to put in the work. Put in the work. Keep putting the work in. All right. Rodney, keep in mind, this guy asks these same questions 7 days a week over and over. I always ask if he should cut. He always asks every day if he should go on a cut, and I tell him no. He always asks every day if I want 85. Like, he asks this stuff all the time. So you feel free to answer me, but I'm not going to change my answers. Okay. So Ruben, back over to the point with the TRT. That's not really TRT. Let's just call it what it is. It's your doctor prescribing a very, very mild blast, mild cycle. Is it healthy? Maybe. Maybe. Do you think the current testosterone is reasonable or conservative? TRT's been popularized a long time. But I mean, you're asking, is Jeff Bezos an example? How about everybody? How about every businessman you know? Pancake. I'm going to go out on a limb and say 70% of the men I know personally, when we all chat and dudes chat in social circles and get-togethers, and I'm not talking lifters. I'm talking men age 40 and up, some of whom don't even work out. 70% of guys that I meet and we have conversations admit to being on testosterone when the dudes are all talking, right? That's how common it is. So why you even bring up Jeff Bezos? Why don't you bring up your dad? Why don't you bring up your boss? Why don't you bring up the CEO and CFO at the company you work for? They're all on testosterone. I almost guarantee you. Yeah, these fitness YouTubers are clowns. Hey, well, TRT may not be, but testosterone will be gotten anywhere. The question is, so we talk about economic advantage. Well, that's for people who, how do I put it? If you want the doctor to do it for you, then yeah, it's going to cost more. Testosterone itself is not expensive. It costs less than protein powder. All right. But not that I would advocate any of you do anything illegal or self-administer a medication that's too expensive to get at the pharmacy. I would never advocate you do that. Just saying. Rodney, I'm going to go based upon your name, that you live in an English-speaking country. I assure you, you can get a bottle of testosterone for $50. 100% chance beyond a shadow of a doubt. You can get a bottle of testosterone that will last you 3 months cheaper than you can get a bag of weed tomorrow. I'm not going to teach you how to do your testosterone necessarily like that, but if you want a consultation to discuss hormones and gear, I do consultations on that. Yes, I do routinely do them. They're $100 an hour. I do a lot of them. Some of the guys who come in these chats will tell you, wait for one of the guys, he comes in here regularly. He's paid me for 2 of them already. One of the guys who comes in regularly, Benny. Thoughts on cannabis for lifters who don't have good appetites. Now that's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. I don't recommend that people smoke anything. I'm not an advocate of smoking stuff because it's bad for you. But can we talk about possibly various cannabinoids for improving appetite for lifters who struggle? It's not unheard of. I've known guys who do it. Right. And I am actually interested in, and I don't smoke weed personally. It's really not my thing. I don't partake of the herb, but I am actually really, really interested in the potential data showing that cannabinoids can help with inflammation and possible recovery from working out. Now, to me, that's an interesting area. I want to see more research in. Right. And I think a lot of us would really like to see that. I'm not a weed fan myself. I personally don't like really getting a buzz for the most part. I don't smoke weed. I will occasionally, if I'm hanging out with some cool chicks or something who are doing edibles and I'm in a comfortable environment, I'll do one with them, but it's pretty rare. I've done it a handful of times. And I'm cool with that situation because it's just a very chill social situation. I would never do it on my own. It's not my thing. But yeah, but I really do want to see the data I do want to see the data that's emerging on that regarding recovery, right? I'd really love to see something, especially reducing inflammatory markers, because there's some research on that, right? You're aware of that there's emerging data on that. To me, that's interesting stuff. Edibles are hit or miss. It depends on the specifics of them here in Texas, Ruben. Not necessarily. Texas is fairly strict on some of that. Some of them are. Yeah, I Sam Saluk is. I've already said before he needs to be really careful. He really made way too many gains, way too young, with way too much gear. We can turn test into estrogen. I don't know about that happening, Rodney. That's now you guys are gonna ask me, have I ever? Literally everybody has smoked weed. I do. Come on. I hope that's not a serious question. Seriously, dude. I think every human being on earth has smoked weed a couple times. I have very, very few exceptions. Have you heard of Anavar used as TRT? No, it's not as suitable for TRT. Looks like Sam Luke cut doses back in last year too. He may have. I think he did too. No, I've never, ever done coke. I have turned it down. I've been given it as gifts by people, like, here, take this. I'm like, I don't want it. I mean, it's like, but no, I've been offered it many, 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 many times. I've never done it. No desire to do it. What body fat do you got in your girls? I don't know. I'm going to ballpark 13%. I'm going to ballpark 13%. I just want to get a little leaner. Right now, I want to just recomposition, bring my arms up a bit, bring my delts up, get my squat well up into the 500s again, get my bench up. I want a good 375 pounds bench this year. I would like to tighten my waistline up a little and trim down a little leaner, though, and bring up my weak links. So those are goals. Ruben says, I never smoked weed. All right, fair enough. Jason, can natty bodybuilders get gyno? Yes. Majority of people with gyno never use gear. You realize gyno is extremely common. Okay, I had gyno before I started lifting, and I've shrunk it down by using things to where it's pretty much non-existent. And people say, there's a little fat. That's fat, though. That's not actual gyno. I actually got rid of mine. I don't know my current waist measurement. Where's the pancake? 15%, not always a fully visible. No. Is there validity to the soy boy memes? No, those are political. They're not based on reality. There's no evidence whatsoever. The evidence shows that soy doesn't impact estrogen or any of that at all, like zero measurement or fertility, actually. If it did, China would have a dwindling population, wouldn't it? Francis, there's not a set number. It depends on the person. Coach, don't have gyno but have puffy nipples. It's fat, or there's some elevated progesterone causing water retention there. Okay, so gyno is actually hard. So if it's soft, that's not gyno. Gyno is hard. It's a lump. There's a lot of estrogen in beer. That's nonsense. And I'm a non-drinker. Actually, today is my 6-year anniversary since my last drink. I have been exactly 6 years. If you guys saw the social media, it's been 6 years since I've had a drink. But no, I don't think there's not estrogen in beer. All right. Tips for overcoming binge eating disorder. Oh, that stuff I work with people on consultations, Gareth. No, I really do work with people on consultations with that. I've done that with about 6 people now. You want to set one up, I'll be happy to work with you on one in a video call, because it's not just little tips I can give you here. My only tip I can give you here is fill up on protein, but that's not a full strategy, is it? Thinks it's soft. I've had it since puberty. It's fat. Rodney, you need to diet now. So if it's just fat and it's soft, get leaner. Diet it off. Congrats, Jason, on the thing. Yeah, I appreciate it. Does alcohol cause aromatization? What possible pathway could alcohol cause aromatization through? Are you suggesting that it increases the amount of the aromatase enzyme? Are you suggesting now, could it through gaining body fat? Higher body fat levels will cause higher aromatization, right? So if it makes you fat with a beer belly, then yes. Jason, I think a lot of people don't understand how important a good form hinge movement is important to do for in life and with road, help with road. So little convoluted, but I do agree. Learning hinge patterns is actually important for overall just real life strength. Is the MND site? What are you talking about? I still had it when I was at 10%. Coach, does strength training improve cancer outcomes? Yes, absolutely. Documented in the scientific literature. Well documented in the scientific literature at this point. In fact, lifting weights doubles your chances of surviving chemotherapy treatment as well. I get puffy nipples as well after eating a lot of carbs. Yeah, it's a water retention in that issue. In that case, how do I get abs already lean? They don't show you're not lean enough. You just got to keep getting leaner. Keep getting leaner. Train your abs more. Keep recomping. I don't recommend if you're a light body weight, you just keep cutting down. Why does Google say eccentric lifting is superior? I don't know, Pancake, because it's not. No reason to think that. It can be an important component. Coach, if people realize how much you have suffered with being honest, vengeance, trolling by companies, your YouTube channel would skyrocket, possibly. I mean, even Mike said that. Like, you've heard the conversation where he said Mike Israel said that. He's like, don't be too honest. Jason Blaha was honest, and look what they did to him. They meaning the supplement companies. Steve Shaw said that for a 180-pound natty guy, it's very unlikely to bench 315. It is fairly unlikely. It's possible. That's very, very difficult, though. It's been done, Francis, but it's a little bit of an outlier. So I'm going to somewhat agree with Steve. You got really good bench genetics if you are a natty 180 guy who's benching 315. You probably got pretty good genetics for the bench press. Or you're really short, but then how natty are you if you're 180? Are you fat? Are you lean? Then you're probably not too natty, are you? Is it? No, I'd never overdose on alcohol, Ruben. It was the consequences, my behavior. I personally find my behavior. So let's set aside the health benefits, all the other stuff. The health benefits have been enormous. So the health benefits have been enormous. It's my personal behavior. Like, I do not have the ability to behave when I drink. I don't have the ability to stop once I have the first drink. And my behavior is embarrassing when I drink. I mean, I've suffered real consequences. But that was a big part of it. What's more impressive to you, 220? I don't really care that much about overhead press these days, so I'm going to go with the 315 bench. Pause bench 340 today at 187, Coach. That's solid, dude. That's real solid. Coach, body fat percentage and height aside, why do some people look a lot bigger compared to someone who weighs the same? Body fat percentage and height, muscle insertions. But again, are you talking next to each other, Rodney? Rodney, are you talking about putting two people side by side, or are you talking about on a camera? Those are two extremely different questions. Okay. All right. My friends tell me they like the drunk version. Yeah, that's not good. No, that's not good. They're enabling. You will ever go back to using bands and chains? I use them a little bit now, sometimes off and on. Tall guys, small, short guys in person generally, yeah. Do you think sexuality has anything to do with testosterone production or strength? Probably not. Hey, Grilled, I don't want to keep hashing out all that over and over and over. Probably camera. I'm 190, but it looks smaller. Yeah, Rodney, it's cameras due to muscle insertions, body fat structure. In person, that doesn't actually happen. It just doesn't. The bigger guy's going to look bigger. I can bench around 190 for 1 rep max, and my pull-up 1 rep max is 55 pounds. That's a massive imbalance. Have you ever done a trap bar shoulder press? Man, with my shoulder, that sounds like the most painful thing you could possibly describe. The empty trap bar for me would probably be Snap City on that 55-pound trap bar I have. Overhead pressing it, I would probably finish my shoulders off. All right, coach, just starting to do high rep Bulgarians, SPF. I don't know what I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm about to get rid of you. You keep talking about Spanish squats and all sorts of crazy stuff. You're a weirdo who just makes up weird exercises. I'm about to just ban you. All right, coach, you're using someone doing your novice program just to get fit or not in aim of reaching major strength goals. You think such an approach? No, because they're gonna hit the wall over and over and over on those lifts with the constant resets. Why are so many roid heads into traps? Could you explain? Obviously not. There are more jack gay dudes than straight. Well, that's because that culture, they usually prize people being more fit and being more attractive. Because generally men prize attractiveness, physical attractiveness slightly more than women. So if they want to attract other men who, gay dudes are still dudes. They're still more visually oriented. And I'm not saying women don't care about looks. They don't care about beauty and aesthetics to the degree that men do. Yep. You inspired me to cut down on the amount of alcohol I drink. What physical health benefits you see? You get leaner easier. You recover from training easier. You have better energy. You're less depressed. You're more focused. Yeah, he did in one of my videos. Check in the comments. It was one of them the other day, like 2 days ago. I need to check and see which one. Yeah, Chris wrote me a compliment, which I thought was cool. Women like physical attraction just as much. Pancake, not to the same degree that you're thinking. And again, let me be clear. I'm not saying they don't. They don't prize the beauty part to the degree that you think. Right? That's the other thing. Yeah, true. He's just famous. That actually matters. Do you think having 2 to 4 beers a week is a health risk? Objectively, yes. Okay, Zach, let's set my personal opinion aside. What did the leading researchers say on that? How many drinks per week is enough to measurably increase cancer risk according to the latest research? It's less than half a drink. It's literally like a shot glass of beer is enough to measurably increase cancer risk of like 7 types of cancer. So is any beer a health risk? Yes. I mean, objectively, not my opinion, right? Not my opinion. All right. So, Coach, are you saying that one should approach training with major strength goals, even if training is just to lose fat? Yes, absolutely. Do you think increasing the 1 rep max bench press will improve my max push-ups? Probably. Jason, I haven't followed you 5 years. Saw you on McLeod's podcast. Awesome, man. Well, come on back, brother. Come on back. We're doing stuff here. Right, I'm over here leaner, squatting 500 plus pounds, doing rep work, 315 on my bench, 550 on the deadlifts, continuing to tighten up, closing in on 50, just having a good time with it, man. So come on back, brother. I'm going to do some more podcasts with him. No, it's not the old law. It's just getting rid of it. I don't want my lives cluttered. If you notice, I'm allowing trolls to post under comments. I am not allowing any BS at all in my lives anymore. I don't want my life disrupted with nonsense. There is no such thing as a Spanish squat. You made that up. I've never heard of such nonsense other than from you personally. So just stop. All right. Have you ever used a slingshot Yes, slingshots let you cheat enormous amounts of weight up. I'm sure you're aware. No, I've discussed, Adam and I discussed a little bit of that in the podcast, actually. Nice coach. Have you seen Adam's podcast setup? It's really legit. I'm going to look at the setup. What about, I'm just going to ignore this stuff. If you coach police or military guys, you only train them in lifting, or do you program running as well? I don't program their running because I'm not a running coach. But I work around their cardio with the programming side. Coach, what are your thoughts about doing doubles on weighted chin-ups to increase? You can. I've never heard of Spanish squats before, guys. Just stop. You might want to tell me what they are before I just get rid of you guys for trolling me. Like, I really don't know what the hell that is. And I've been doing this 25 plus years. I literally coach like 7 different types of squats. I've never heard of this before other than in my live streams. All right. So I actually legitimately think you guys are trolling me. I have never heard of this in my life. It's probably going to be something that's already has a different name that Athlete X made up. Okay. So you guys are just renaming exercises now. Police should be running more than military. Never found myself moving quick in the military. Coach, did you watch the video where Adam McLeod beat up Jay Masters in it? No, I didn't. A Spanish squat is a behind the back deadlift. That's just called a behind the back deadlift. Some people call it the old school hack squat. Does TRT have benefits in men who are healthy? Potentially. Jason, what was your max reps on the chin up? I don't remember. I know I've done 22 pull-ups once. It's not weighted. You wrapped a band around the rack and put your hand down. What? It's a variation of the sissy squat. I'm not interested. I just looked at the Spanish squat. It's basically a goblet squat with a band on your legs. What? Why don't you just do a goblet squat? Okay, if it's got band on the legs, it's stupid. Stop. Stop wrapping bands around your legs, you morons. That's the stupidest trend I've ever seen. Okay, unless it's doing it against a certain reason, against a band, against a rack pulling outward, there's minor, in some cases, can be used for some stuff. But this wrapping bands around your legs, stop. Okay, goblet squats are a great exercise, but it's a goblet squat. This is a long-standing exercise that we know the name of, and it's one that I endorse. Okay. The band is not what you need. Just do a goblet squat. Limitless says, what if it's for religious? What are you talking? Limitless, can we start over? That's a strange way to have a conversation, to walk up to someone and go, what if it's because of religious reasons? What? What is it? And what religion are you talking about? Are we talking about Spanish squats for religious reasons? Okay. All right. I have very little vascularity to improve. Get lean or do cardio. What about fitness? What about fitness, Gothic? Could we ask a specific question? Penguin Calero was on the tippy toes. What are you talking about? You said a leg raise machine is a good supporting tool. Do you still believe that? I love them. Yeah, I think they can be. Greatest gym lifter of all time. I don't know. I have no idea. Hey, Jason, I want to start uploading YouTube videos, but I'm scared of getting stalkers. Yeah, don't upload videos then. I'm not a big fan. Knees over toes, sissy squats. Take it or leave it. Why are you guys so scared of just doing a back squat to build up? I mean, I get that supplemental lifts have their place. I use supplemental lifts. I coach supplemental lifts. Why do you guys obsess over all this other little stuff instead of getting your squat up? Get your squat to 400 plus. That should kind of be your main goal with leg stuff. Get your squat up to at least 400. You know, Then you can worry about some of this other stuff as needed. Do you think squats and hamstring curls is enough for legs? No. The knees over toes guy has sus 5s. I agree. All right. Coach is squatting without pause at the top. Okay. Yeah. I've been stuck at a 405 deadlift for years. I have no idea how to keep progressing. Do you have any tips? Hire me. I'll get you to 500. Zach, I'm serious. I've taken guys who were stuck at stuff like that for years and put another plate on. It's kind of what I do. Ask Justin. Justin was stuck at a 405 squat for years, or 400 squat for years. I do vlogs with him. I've coached him 5.5 years. We got him to a 520. Hire me. There's your solution. Is squatting on a Smith machine okay? A Smith machine isn't okay. Seems like most people get bored of what works every time. They need to spice it up with weird supplemental movements because they don't want results. And again, I'm not saying supplemental lifts do not have their place. I use them. I prescribe them. But you have to focus on the basics. I want to do more back squats. I'm too self-conscious of looking feminine. Okay, pancake. I'm about to get rid of you. There's nothing feminine about doing squats. You're going to skip the most functional, athletic, powerful movement you could possibly do because you think it's feminine. So all these amazing athletes who focused on the back squat, like Ben Johnson, the marathoner, John Jones, how about Conor McGregor? They're all feminine. All these fighters with really good squats, all these sprinters, all these NFL players are feminine. That's what you define as feminine. I think that maybe you need to go talk to a therapist about your identity a little bit. What's feminine about glute bridges? Nothing feminine about a glute bridge, dude. What do you mean? Women see you doing glute bridges with 500 pounds, they might get excited. They may be like, that man's got some thrusting power, right? You might get, one of them might come over and give you a number. Does squats promote more muscle growth around the body when the squat goes up bench? For novices. All right. Coach, would a 350 by 8 deadlift top set equal to a 405? Yeah, easily. Pancake definitely squats with fussy pads. What? I meant to say glute bridges. John Jones is feminine, right? I think he saw LeBron squat and he thinks it's feminine. Yeah, because LeBron James obviously looks feminine, right? Jesus Christ, guys. Okay. So if any guy who says squatting looks homosexual is in the closet, they need to just come out. If they're associating an exercise with that, they've got some deep-seated problems. And I'd say the same thing. Any man who thinks that any exercise that builds muscle and strength, like a glute bridge, a hip thrust, if you perceive that as feminine, you are probably an extremely insecure man. You should probably go back to the title of testosterone. You should probably pen about 200 milligrams of testosterone a week, and all those thoughts will go away. Let me state that again. Any of you guys who are worried that an exercise in the gym will look feminine and you're insecure about it, go pen 200 milligrams of test every week. That'll just completely go away. You'll never even think about it again. You'll just be like, I'm King Kong, gorilla dick motherfucker. I'm going to lift this heavy weight. And that's going to be your thought process in the gym. All that'll go away. All that insecure, all that stuff will be gone. It fixes it in about 2 weeks. It just completely goes away. 200 milligrams of test. A good girl, bad. Same thing, man. You pin 200 milligrams of test, the good girl, bad girl machine, you walk over and do it, not even think about it. You won't even think, man, someone's going to take a look at you and be like, dude, I'm just going to get my hips stronger so I can squat and deadlift more. I wonder if this will help me pound pussy harder. That's actually what you'll be thinking while you do it. Your whole mindset will change. All this insecurity will go away. All right. I think heavy squats to me is the most manly out of the four lifts. I'm going to go with the deadlift, honestly. But I will agree, squats are the most difficult. They're the most mentally challenging. There's a certain dread that goes with getting under a 500-pound squat. Like for me personally, that's my number. Anytime, that's why you guys see me do stuff when I went back to the 500, like, Blaha, why are you doing boxing? Why are you doing this stuff? I'm like, it's to get my head straight. Even though I've squatted well past 500 before, well past it, 500, for some reason, there is that little voice in the back of my head, right? Every time I get under 500, if I haven't done it in just a little while, there's that little voice in the back of my head that I have to work through. And I don't get the same thing. 550 on a deadlift for reps, I'd walk over and pull it. I don't even have to think about it. I just walk over and pull it. It's super chill. That squat, whenever I get to that fifth plate, it's that fifth plate on the squat bar. When I see it and I'm walking towards it, I have to have my head clear. Because if I don't, I get this vision in my head of getting driven into the floor like a hammer driving a nail. You guys know what I'm talking about. So lack of almost everything is right. And even I deal with that, guys. It's not like going to war, Rodney, but it is, there's that little fear, just that little voice in the back of your head. It's that voice in the back of your head when you see that fifth wheel. It's the fifth plate on that bar. Even if you did 550 the week before, right? There's that voice. And for everyone, it's a different number. For a lot of guys, it's the 4 plates, right? For me, it's that fifth plate. It's that fifth plate is that voice in the back of my head that I have to get out. I have to clear it out of my head. I've got to get that vision out of my mind of getting driven to the floor. Because if I don't, when I unrack it, it's just going to be heavy. I'm going to say, uh-uh. So you've got to get your head straight to get under that. And when you do, it's money, right? Deadlifts are too hard for me to hurt my hands. Rodney, you sound like you need about 200 milligrams of test to fix this problem. Jason, you ever tried an Oklahoma drill that Lenny talked about? No, I haven't. Jason, why do you think there's a massive increase in non-alcoholic liver disease due to refined sugars? Squats give me hemorrhoids. Oh man, quit doing the other stuff that's giving you hemorrhoids. Eat more fiber, eat more fruits and vegetables. Stop spending 20 minutes on the toilet. Get off the toilet as soon as you're done. I hear Rodney in my head. Do you say anything before your heavy sets? It's hard to imagine people living more lives. What? No, I go through it. It's usually like when I get under that bar, I go through some mental cues. It's like remember to breathe, remember to keep the chest up, remember to spread the floor. So if it's a high bar or if it's a low bar, it's like remember to spread the floor with my feet. Get those knees out. Get the knees out, knees out, knees out, knees out. When it's a high bar, it's chest up. Keep your chest up. Keep your chest up. So those are what I walk through when I'm approaching the bar. So it's mental cues. So it depends on what type of squat I'm doing. I've seen women pee. I've had clients who pee themselves on every heavy squat and deadlift. Who are women, especially women if they've had a kid already. Will your novice program 3x5 or 5x5 take me from novice numbers to intermediate numbers? Maybe. No, I don't like smelling salts. When I go for a squat max, I imagine Jason Blaha yelling at my ear, calling me a pussy. No, that sort of negative reinforcement isn't good. You don't want the pussy thing. You don't want the negative. You want positive reinforcements. Work on that. A lot of people say you use fake plates, right? I mean, even this last meet, the 619, I missed it up at the knee. I blew it off the floor. Come on, guys. Before I grab the barbell, I tell myself I'm sick of it, right? Rodney, try being angry at your father before you bench. That helps. All right. Jason, it's possible for a guy to have a 600 squat and can perform one-arm chin-ups too? Maybe. Coach, did athlete next get caught with fake weights? Yes, I'm one of the people who called him on it. And it was very obvious that it was fake plates. It was very obvious based on his other strength and those weird plates he threw on there. Yep. Like, come on, dude. You guys have money. Use some real plates. Use some good plates. No, I don't have time to watch stuff like that, Penguins. Is it morally wrong to use fake plates if it inspires people? I'm going to go with yeah. Like, hold on, I got to go back. No, he didn't beef with me about it. He didn't try to retaliate at all. But he got caught. The guy that's on the next train still doesn't look like he lifts. The upper body strength of male gymnasts is insane. Well, yeah. But that's a really inefficient way to develop that strength and muscularity. Are you gay? No, I'm strictly taco, no burrito, bro. But I don't have any issue with it, right? I don't hold any prejudice there. What does a taco mean? Well, think about it, Pancake. Visualize what a taco looks like and then what a burrito looks like. I should clarify. I'm strictly taco, no burrito. We can define our sexuality with food. In fact, I prefer to. People say gymnasts look feminine, but they're jacked. A lot of them are. Again, good genetics, hours and hours of training every day, and steroids tend to do that. I can imagine enraged, bloodthirsty athlete next trying to Spanish squat face full of salt for being called out, right? Believe it. I don't know. You guys keep asking me about that guy, and I don't know who he is. Because people like to trick me with names of people that I don't know into saying stuff, I'm not going to say the name outside, Burn. I don't know who he is outside of my comment section. My live stream comments are the entirety of my ever seeing that word in my entire life. How come chimpanzees are so jacked? Because they're chimpanzees and it's their genetics to be that way. How come rhinoceroses have a big horn on their nose? Why don't you grow a big horn on your nose? Not gonna lie, I'm not craving a burrito for dinner. No. Argue out. That would be funny. I don't know what bonobos are. Is it myostatin related? No. When you look at your journey till now, do you feel accomplished in enlightening a large number of people about fitness and nutrition, swaying them away from freight products? Yeah, I think I have. I've done a pretty good job of that over the last 13 years. I don't really have thoughts on Sam Saluk. I worry about the guy's health. At least he's not drinking chocolate milk on camera anymore and promoting it. Gorillas would probably deadlift a lot. Could you do a natty or not on TMF? Who is TMF? Could you spell it out? Is penis size related to strength and strength ceiling? No. What are your PRs you're most proud of? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm going to go with that 635 deadlift, actually, with a power bar, not even a deadlift bar. That one. Let's go with that. And the bench, let's go with that wide grip pause bench for 365. Why? Because benching has always been my worst lift. So for me to get to a 2-second pause with a 365 on a nice wide grip, I'm most proud of that. That was harder for me than getting to it on the close grip. Penguins, you're going to have to ask a biologist to go into extreme detail. It's probably not myostatin though. There's a chocolate moon. I've never read the ingredients on it. I don't know. I don't drink the chocolate, so I never read it. Opinion of eating raw meat, it's stupid. Well, it wasn't truly flat back, Francis. It was fairly flat, but I did have a little bit of an arch. Pause squats are a great lift. Do you like sashimi? No. Coach, if you stopped training for months because of health issues, would you lose all your muscle? You'd lose a lot of it. You'd be able to regain it somewhat quickly, but it's going to take time, depending on downtime and how much you lost. Yeah. I don't recommend that you do it if you can avoid it. I mean, I had to stop training for a very extended period of time once, and I lost most of my muscle. Do you feel like you develop more of a loyal subscriber base through live streams and recording videos? I don't know. Is beef bison the greatest source of protein? No, but I like it. It's a great source. I don't think it's necessarily the greatest. I mean, dairy technically is higher quality protein. Push comes to shove, tit for tat. Coach has that NH closet virgin and so apologize. No, he'll probably never apologize. What were your blood markers when you ate for it? I don't know. I don't remember. Salmon and eggs. I don't like fish. Eggs are great though. Eggs are a phenomenal protein source, right? We all know this. Who's down here messaging me? Oh, all right. I eat a lot of bananas, but worried about the sugar. Why? Please review. I want to review some crazy carnivore guys. I don't know that I want to do that. Also, by the way, if you guys could please follow me on the Facebook page, that would be greatly appreciated. Any of you who have Facebook, go follow me there and go down the road liking my stuff real quick. I would appreciate that. I will pay for goodies. Do you ever drink soy? For a little while when I was trying to do more plant-based, I messed with soy milk, but I don't care for it. I'm just going to go for the real deal, man. Real milk. Real milk from real cows for real gains, bros. When you mentioned about fake fights of YouTubers, yeah, I told you guys I had some. The original fight with Jerry Ward and I was totally fake. We had a fake beef and we were friends behind the scenes. Then we had a real falling out and he hit below the belt with some stuff. And then I hit back really hard and it turned into a real fight. And we both behaved like a pair of immature jackasses that a grown man shouldn't have done. We both could have done better. Jerry Ward and I originally had a fake fight. By the way, we had a fight and a beef in public, and behind the scenes, we were chatting and friends at the time. But while I was in the UK, when I got over here, we got into a real one. No, I had some real beefs with those. I made peace with Roberts, though. Vegan gains should make everybody depressed. I'm not drinking that soylent stuff. Jesus Christ, dude. I remember Jerry Ward. Do you remember Mark Lobliner? Mark used to pay me to be on, do some stuff for him, and then we definitely had a falling out. Steve Shaw worked for Tiger Fitness. So I wrote for Mark for a little while, and he gave me an endorsement thing, and I quit because I wasn't happy with the fact that my quote code was being used to buy test boosters instead of just protein. Mark and I had falling out early on over all his fake supplements early on, but then we made peace. He sent me a bunch of free protein. They offered me a job to write some articles, and they were paying me $400 a page. And then I had a promo code for his supplements, and I was telling people I only endorse the protein powders. And then I got to see printouts, and people were buying stuff that I said were bad. And I wasn't comfortable with that. And I said I wasn't comfortable with it. I had fans who told me they were disappointed in me for having done it, even though I got it. So I'm kind of uncomfortable with this. So I ultimately decided to end it. And so we fell out. Because that kind of sealed the deal for me. When I was uncomfortable with something ethically, and I said in a video, this is what's happening, and I'm uncomfortable with it. And I had fans say, Coach, I'm actually really disappointed with you. I'm disappointed in you. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like, damn. You guys see my face there? I was already kind of going, man, this is questionable, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. And I said that, and fans go, Coach, I'm actually disappointed in you. You know what I mean? That's a point where it's like, yeah, okay. People who were looking up to me were disappointed in me, and I'm already not feeling right about it. I mean, it wasn't that much money, Pancake, at the end of the day. It wasn't enough to sell my ethics. So I think we all have our price. Let's be fair, dude. Everybody has their price. Some of you would punch your mama for $10 million. I hate to say it. Be like, Mom, I'll give you half. You know, but it wasn't enough to sell out for. It just, it's like, damn, man. I mean, I'm selling out for a few $100s, maybe a couple grand tops. No, no. Because I was only making like I was making 300 or 400 a month off of the affiliate. That's not a lot of money to sell out for. It really isn't, guys. All right. But he contributed. Mark bragged about helping that campaign. Yeah, I'm aware of some of that. That whole kind of circle of supplement companies involved. Seems interesting that Mark Lobliner attacks calorie muscle but sells his supplements like Happy Mud at the same time. That is interesting, isn't it, Ram? How's that work? No, I never met Dom, actually. How does that work, guys? Somebody care to explain that to me? Lobliner attacks calorie muscle but still sells his supplements. Isn't Happy Mud instant coffee and Pepsi, actually? Fearless donating. I've hit plenty of my goals on camera. You guys have seen me reach many of them. All right. I don't know what happened to Vince G. He just kind of fell out. All right, guys, we're getting up on the top of the hour. I'm going to go ahead and wind this down. Let me give you guys a forearm shot before we go. We'll give you a Mount Bicephalus. Oh, Mount Bicephalus. I'll talk to you next time.